there's two players I want to bring up with this tournament that has really, really surprised me, and I want the best for their careers. The first is Gilberto Mora. Um, I'm gonna blow Coach's mind right now. Do you know what year he was born?
2001.
2008, and he starts for Mexico in midfield. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show. I'm your host, Tosin, alongside Coach. There is no Dean today, but I am so happy to have Coach here because it's nice to have an English voice in my ear. So, Coach, how you doing? And pause on that.
Yeah, I was gonna say you went mad. I know you've missed me, my bro. Like, I have also noticed the absence of your presence as well. Um, but yeah, you went mad there. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
good. It's good to be back. This is the first main pod in what feels like a couple months. Um, yeah, man. So suppose let's get this party started.
yeah, man. Just dudes being dudes and enjoying each other's company, just male bondship. That's all that is. But we do have to start the podcast on a somber note. Rest in peace to Diogo Jota and his brother Andre as well. It was very, very harrowing to just wake up to that news. And, we've seen, they have their funeral at this point, and it's just sad to see everything that happened. It just makes you realize how precious life is. And it's just rest in peace. And just, to his family, to his mom, especially his parents and his teammates and everybody cannot imagine how they're feeling. It's just gone today. They were here yesterday and gone tomorrow, and it's just really sad.
Yeah, I think there's first of all, like rest in peace to Diogo Jota, sorry, should I say, and Andre Silva. I think there's so much has been said about how sad it is, and it's true, it's sad. Like there's no two ways around it. 28 years old, you know, statistically, he's not even a third of the way through his life. He's just about a third of the way through his life. Um, Same thing for his brother as well. But the genuine outpouring of goodness that we've seen about people, what he's done in his life in those short 28 years, while it was very, very sad kind of thing, there's a lot of heart to take from there. You know, there's a lot you can do, so much in so little, so much good in so little kind of thing. And I think that's the way I hope people choose to remember him. Like this whole summer was probably the peak of his entire life. Won the Premier League, won the Nations League, got married. You know, like those are some of the best memories ever. It's a gut punch that it just got cut short so soon. But if there's something to take away from it, it's the fact that there was so much good happened, in such a short amount of time, in this last, couple of months, and then in his entire lifetime as well, he completed and achieved so much, so it's sad. And I'm really thinking about his family, and everyone that's close to him. But he done a lot of good, and I think we have to try to remember that as much as possible. But yeah, rest in peace to Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva, man.
Yeah, it's very just tragic, and we also have some more somber news to bring to you. We will address the Thomas Partey issue when we just feel like it's our time to address it, and that's how we're gonna leave that with. But let's head on to the football. Women's Euros has started. Match day one already happened, and match day two started today. The biggest takeaway I can say from this is that Spain and France are probably the favorites. I think we can safe to say that, right? Spain are ridiculous.
Yeah, I think they've got probably the best collective of players from a gifted standpoint. Being English, I'm always gonna back England. The English women, at least, anyway. I think the English women have got a good chance as well. But if we're going on pure talent, it's Spain. Yeah, France have got some ridiculous players as well, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's looking like one of those two right now for sure.
Yeah, Netherlands did beat Wales 3-0. Germany beat Poland 2-0. Germany always up there with the women's. Sweden beat Denmark. But it's just when you look at the Spain side, man, it's just I'm gonna read some of these names like Esther Gonzalez, who she plays for Gotham FC. You have obviously Putellas, who is arguably one of the best players in the world. Vicky Lopez next to her.
Might be the best, to be honest. Nah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And then you have another battle at like left at right back. So just like they're just an insanely stacked team, which makes no sense. and then they're bringing on Pirelli off the bench, which she's amazing herself. So it's just like you got hitters off the bench, you got hitters on the starting 11. It's like, what more do you want from this team? So, yeah, it's just I want to back Spain. I think that's if I have a safe bet, I want to say Spain. But also, I like France as well. I like Sandy Baltimore a lot, especially because she has the last name that I love. So there you
Yeah,
go.
I mean, Carachal from I hope I pronounced her name right. Karcha Kachuri, should I say? Sakina Kachuri from France as well. She's another brand for sure. Like, there's so to put it this year, there's so much talent spread out in this tournament that while France obviously beat England today, it could have went the other way. You know, I think it could have went the other way. But with that being said, I'm really hoping England don't crash out like early. Like, it's been such a good feel good sort of last few months for women's English football kind of thing. It'll be really bad, like really sad, should I say, if they, have a crap Euros. Like, I'm really, really hoping that they turn it around in their next game.
We hope so. But the women's Euros is on now, and I definitely want everybody to pay attention to that. I mean, we've had a lot of football this summer. Even this whole podcast, there's a lot of football to talk about, a lot of things that like we don't want to get too into the weeds with it, but there's a lot of football that's happening. It's just the women's Euros deserves a lot of love, and the women's AFCON, which started match day one, started the other day with Morocco and Zambia 2-2. Then Senegal beat DR Congo 4-0. But the one that matters to us the most, obviously Algeria beat Botswana 1-0. But the one that matters to us the most, Nigeria beat Tunisia 3-0. We're shameless here, okay? We're going to back Nigeria, men and women in football. We might back the country some days. Most days we won't because that's another issue with itself.
I, I I think this is probably the most dominant performance of any football team that played football this weekend. Genuinely,
Yeah.
we know what do we call her, Agbabola, Aziza, right? Like, she didn't even take up to 3 minutes before she decided to burst the net. Like, it was just, yeah, pure and utter domination from Nigeria.
You
Um,
should have seen her haircut. That she
yeah,
had a fresh lineup and she had a fresh part in her hair.
she didn't come to play, bro. She didn't come to play. Like, she came to play, obviously, but she didn't came to fuck around, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Um,
she refused.
Nigeria, I'm sorry to say, yeah, but respect to the other teams, but Nigeria are my favorites. Like,
Yeah.
they're my favorites, straight up and down.
Yeah.
They're gonna take a lot of stopping for me personally. So let's see how it goes. But a wonderful start. Left some goals out there as well, so we're saving them for other games, I assume. So yeah, let's go, man.
Also, Rinsola Babadi, shout out to her. She did Diogo Jota celebration. Obviously, played for Liverpool, so that was a beautiful thing that she did with her celebration. So,
Yeah, she. I saw some tweets of her some years back. Bigging up Jota as well. So yeah, it's always nice. It's always nice to see, man.
yeah, it's really nice. And Nigeria doing the same thing they're doing with the men's team. They bring a lot of foreign-based players, like who were born overseas, like Tony Payne. She's starting too. So, it's nice to see Nigeria getting that diaspora with the home-based players as well. So it's beautiful to see that. And
Yeah.
honestly, Nigeria's goalkeeper is really good too. She's really, really good. She got a move this summer as well. She plays for Brighton now. So she left Paris FC and she's playing for Brighton. So
Yeah,
really
so
nice.
again, this is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Nigeria are stacked. I feel like we'll take a lot of stopping personally. So
Yeah, for sure. Club World Cup. Uh, can I start off because I wanted to talk about this like personally, but like I lied. Okay, I've actually been watching this tournament like every game, like a sick man. I was at the pool yesterday watching the PSG game. I was at the pool watching the Real Madrid game. I was supposed to be outside having fun, touching grass. I was touching grass or watching football. Like, there's a sick person. Only a sick person does that. So I apologize for lying to everybody, but this tournament's been great. I've really enjoyed it. And I think the thing that I've enjoyed the most is seeing the South American teams and their fans, like seeing Fluminense fans, seeing Flamengo fans, seeing Boca Junior fans taking over Miami. You're getting to see these fans really, really enjoy this tournament. And that's the essence of what football's about. It's fun, it's joy, it's about passion, it's about your team being shameless about your team. Even Al Hilal, like this celebration that guy did when he choked, that was funny as hell against City. I loved it. It was funny. But this tournament has been good. I think that there's some things that need to skew around a little bit more. But if this is the way it's going forward every 4 years, they might have something in their hands with that. How do you feel about that, Coach?
I don't want to. Let me just level you guys. I haven't turned on to watch a single game of the Club World Cup. I've watched some highlight packages. I've watched some tactical breakdowns just because I was interested in certain players. But let me just be frank, and I'll just look at it from a different angle. I really do think this tournament is a bunch of bullshit. You can enjoy the football. The football quality might have been good and stuff like that. But from my own perspective, it's not going to change. I think the tournament is just a bunch of nonsense. It's not that I haven't been watching it out of protest. It's just the fact that how much do you want people to consume of this shit? Like, as much as the players need a break, we need a break as well. Um, and the fact that, to me, and I'll be honest, I feel like it's a little bit grotesque because it's very clear that the way it's been marketed and the way it's been put around, kind of thing, it's so obviously a money grab. So
Yeah.
like all these headlines keep reporting, oh, this team is making this much money because they got this far. That's all you keep seeing, and I was like, when does that ever happen during the season? When do we ever hear about how much a team gets for winning the Carabao Cup or how much a team gets for winning the FA Cup kind of thing? We don't hear that shit. We don't. Or how much a team gets for finishing in second or third place in the Premier League. We don't hear that nonsense, you know? And it tells me that this whole thing is just it's it's drenched in greed, like genuine greed. Now, that being said, some of the football year has been quite good. I won't even lie to you from what I've seen. But then on the flip side, you've got Jamal Musiala, who was injured already in this tournament, right? And then he gets injured again properly when technically he should be resting, like his compatriot Christian, not Christian Wirtz, sorry, Florian Wirtz, sorry. Florian Wirtz has made his move to Liverpool and is now resting, waiting to start pre-season. And you've got these guys in sweltering heat that some of these players have to watch their matches in changing rooms where it's air conditioned because it's just too much. The heat is just too much. There's a reason why football doesn't take place in the summer, guys, because football is a very physically intense sport. You cannot play it at a high level in the summer. There's a reason why. The reason why I love playing football when it's a little bit damp and and the grass is a little bit slick. That's football weather. This to me isn't really football weather. Sorry to rant for so long, but I had to get it off my chest, man. I'm not enjoying the circumstances in which these games are being played at all.
Yeah. And I will add to your point because that's also how I feel because I've also watched the games as well. I think the thing
It's
that's
not the same minute. They're not
yeah,
really performing the same, are they?
feels like especially European teams, like they're on a preseason, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the stuff that Luis Enrique has said, he's also said that like, oh, I'm just using this as preseason, right? Like this is PSG's preseason.
Mm-hmm.
This is call a spade a spade. They'll give their players maybe 2-3 weeks of rest.
Mm-hmm.
They'll come back into league on and like, kind of tweak things a little bit here and there. But it's and as I want to finish with my point, what I was saying, because I had to take a pause break for a second just to kind of formulate my thoughts. I see people saying, yeah, the South American teams, they play a little bit more, like they play more games than European teams. Respect it.
Mm-hmm.
But level of competition, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's leveled. So it's like different levels, like these guys are weeks off of Nations League, week off of Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, that they're tired. The boy, like we say in your like we say in Nigeria, but no before I would, these people are tired. And you can see it in the way they're playing, you can see in the way like they're not really doing the things that you expect them to do. And it's exhausting for the players for sure. But let's
Put it, it's the fact that the transfer window, like we had to change the whole sort of structure of the transfer window just to accommodate for this bullshit. Do you know what I mean? The fact that, so, like, look at me players City had to sign before the tournament started. Look at me players Chelsea signed before the tournament or during the tournament even.
bro, I'm gonna double down your point about players. I was watching the Chelsea Palmeiras game, right?
Yeah,
And I text one of the homies and I was like, yo, wait, y'all players was already there?
yeah. Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying. They're literally getting reinforcements. They already got Liam Delap already, bro. Like they already got that. Like it doesn't. It's just not computing to me. Like this is so grotesque, man. I'm sorry. It is. Like I know the marketing for it has been a lot of people are taking coins from the zone and all these other things to help like promote this and to talk about stuff, which is fine. Get your coins or whatever. But let's call it what it is. It's a bunch of bullshit, man. I'm sorry. And what this is gonna happen every 4 years, right?
Yeah.
So a year before the World Cup, right? So think of it like this year. God forbid, right? A player plays in this tournament a year before the World Cup after a long grueling season, yeah, and he put any player potentially might do the ACL kind of thing. Are they going to meet any conditions to try and play in the World Cup the following year? you just don't know.
Yeah.
And it can happen. Don't get me wrong, it can happen at any time. But the fact that these matches will be going on while players should be resting is what's doing my nutting. It just Why would you add it?
Yeah.
The old version of the Club World Cup to me was fine because I'll tell you why. Even though it's always been there kind of thing, and with with added games in the last few years, at least the teams that are competing in it from Europe kind of thing, they'd play what a semi final and a final, right, or quarter final or
Two,
semi
yeah.
final.
For
Two
2 games.
games. It's two games added to your calendar. It's not the end of the world. It's generally not the end of the world. You're
But
playing group stage games, then you're playing knockout. Oh, come on, man, get out of there, man.
yeah,
It's
your
ridiculous.
group stage, your round of 16. Now you have your quarterfinals, quarters and semis.
It's a whole tournament.
Yeah.
It's
You
a
want to
whole
run?
tournament, man. I'm sorry. It's absolutely ridiculous, man.
You want to
Seriously.
run through the games quickly?
Yeah, let's go through the games, man. Like I won't be able to offer much outside of some of what I saw from PSG and Real Madrid and Dortmund, but yeah.
Round of 16, Palmeiras beat Botafogo 1-0.
Mm,
Richie Rios. I like Richie Rios. I like
mhm,
Richie Rios' game. Benfica lost to Chelsea 4-1. That game got stopped because of rain. And then Chelsea opened the floodgates in the extra time, and that
mm.
was that.
Didn't that
PSG,
didn't that game keep on getting stopped though? Like
yeah,
consistently.
because of the weather in Charlotte. Yeah, it was bad. PSG beat Inter 4-0. They took the handbrake off at like the 30th minute. There was no point. You could see that Luis Suarez and Messi.
Into Miami.
Yeah, into
Mm,
Miami. Yeah, PSG beat into Miami. Flamengo, they lost to Bayern Munich 4-2. That was competitive, but Bayern Munich just has a lot more firepower than Flamengo. It
mm.
is what it is. Inter lost to Fluminense 2-0. This was an interesting game. Thiago Silva throughout this tournament has shown me that and we've known this about
He's
Thiago
a
Silva.
grown man.
Think he's and I'll talk about this further, but Thiago Silva is 40 years old and he's still one of the best center backs in the world. He just is just the man. It is what it is. City and Al Hilal. This game I actually turned it off during
Mm,
90 minutes because like I'm gonna go to bed. Then I got then I checked and saw like, oh, this game is getting interesting. I saw
mm,
4-3 and I was like, yeah, this is a good hate watch. I'm glad I
mm,
stayed up a little bit late past my bedtime to watch that. So that was good. Real Madrid, Juventus was 1-0. Nothing really to take away from that.
mm,
Doma beat Monterrey 2-1. Sergio Ramos is just doing anything. That
mm.
Monterrey team is full of players that like you're like, wait, they're here.
It's
I'm
basically like the Suicide Squad.
yeah, Sergio Canales starts for them.
Mhm,
Lucas Ocampos comes off the bench. So it's just like, Sergio Ramos is there. Medina's there. And it's just like, yo, wait, Oliver's there as well. I'm just like, yo, wait, who? How? Oliver Torres, by the way. So it's like, wait, what are you guys doing here? So that's that. That was the final game of the round of 16. Joe Bellingham is looking good, by the way. He's looking like he's just taking to Dortmund like a duck to water. So I'm very happy for him.
I really, really wish he didn't go to Dortmund though. Like I really, really, really wish he didn't go to Dortmund.
Same.
Seriously, like
I just want to Frankfurt.
so boring, man. Like so flipping boring.
Yeah. Quarterfinals, Fluminense beat Al Hilal 2-1. I'm really shocked that they let Ruben Neves and what's his name? And why am I forgetting his name? Play Yao Cancelo. I'm shocked they let those boys play.
Yeah,
Because the
yeah.
next day they were both in Portugal for
For
the
just a
funeral and things
funeral,
like
yeah.
that. Palmeiras, Chelsea 2-1. Esteval, he got rock in his legs, man. That goal was really, really serious. So I was a big fan of that. Y'all Pedro looks spry. And then on top of that, guess who else was at the game for Chelsea?
Go on.
Jamie Bino Giddens was there before they even announced it. Like he was literally right at the game. Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Yeah. PSG Bayern Munich was 2-0. Of course, we saw the injuries to Jerome Musiala, just an unfortunate turn of events. Everybody cried. It was sad to see that. But PSG decided, you know what? Give us 2 red cards, we're gonna give you 2 goals. So that's what
Yeah,
they
they
did.
were down. They literally went down to 9. Like I'm pretty. Yeah, they scored. They scored their second goal after they went down to 9 men. Like that is pretty hilarious.
Yeah. Real Madrid Dortmund 3-2. This game was a barn burner because what the hell were they doing? And then Dean Housen got a red card. So he just
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think it was cool to obviously like see the what's the word I'm looking for. It didn't happen in the end, but it would have been cool to see like Job versus Jude and shit. But um, it was like Jude getting to play against Dortmund again, which
yeah.
is cool. But yeah, Garcia. that might be their next, Spanish
That's
hope.
what did Dean say? That is baby Raul.
Yeah, I mean, when was the last time Spain had a good striker? Yeah, like a
David
genuine.
Villa,
Yeah, David Villa, the whole generation of David Villa, Fernando Torres.
Morientes was
No,
a little.
they were after Morientes though. So
Yeah, yeah, no, that's what I said. Morientes was before them. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it's about flipping time, bro.
Yeah. So they got Garcia and they got Samuel coming up. So
Yeah, I mean, I know we've left off a notable name, but that was very much on purpose. Like, we can't keep putting Morata in these debates. I'm sorry, guys. Like, it just
no, we don't do. We only do pretty privilege here. I mean, he's pretty privileged, but we don't. No, we're not acknowledging that. Fuck out of here.
yeah.
But the semifinals are set. Fluminense versus Chelsea, and PSG versus Real Madrid are the semifinals. Fluminense Chelsea's on Tuesday. PSG Real Madrid on Wednesday. So my Thiago Silva thing. I'm not sure if you saw this video. I can see if our editor can put it with this clip I'm about to talk about. So Thiago Silva
The speech
got
about
this speech in the locker room about his stepfather, and he was just like, when he had that speech, honest to God, I went up to I went to go to the gym. I did another session of leg day that day.
yeah,
So
I think the message of his speech is what applies to so much in life. Like,
for
if
sure.
you can just do shit, just do it. If you can,
Hmm.
if you have the means to do something, just do it. But saying that to players before a game, kind of thing, and the fact that he had to rein them in and say, guys, don't go out there and get red cards, because he knows the power of his words and what the emotions it will bring, kind of thing. It says a lot of stuff about that guy, like he's very, very emotionally intelligent. He gets it, kind of thing, and that only comes from being there and doing it, basically. Um, but I was gonna say, yeah, I think, yeah, he's a titan of the game, and they really don't make them like him anymore. They really don't. They
They do
really, really
not.
don't.
They do not. Last but not least, coach is not watching this. I'm a sick man. I'm watching this. The Gold Cup. This has been a tournament where we all know that Canada, Mexico, and USA are the best teams. I watched the quarterfinals, and USA beat Costa Rican penalties. Greg Berhalter's son missed a penalty, and his dad was in the stadium, but they ended up winning. Canada Guatemala was so interesting to me because Canada should have beat Guatemala like in extra time, but I mean in regular time. But Schaffelberg got a red card, right? Now, coach didn't see this, but Guatemala, it was the fourth penalty, right? So it was 4-3, right? Coach, listen to this. Big cojones from the Guatemala player. You know what type of penalty he took? Mind you, that he needs to make this penalty. He takes a fucking Panenka and he makes the Panenka 4-3. And he takes a Panenka, and I'm just like, yo, you know what? You got it. The scenes for me were the best scenes I've seen in football in a very long time because for you to
I
even
would have loved for him to miss it. It would have been funny if he missed it.
it would have been funny.
Yeah.
It would have been funny. But Kyle Laren, the record holder for Canada, like that their GOAT, missed his penalty. And I was just laughing at everything. And I was like, this is what I love about football right here. The underdogs, Guatemala, just randomly end up going to semifinals. They end up losing USA 2-1. Mexico beat Honduras 1-0. Gold Cup has been fun. The finals literally in 7 minutes. So by the time you guys hear this, either Mexico or USA will win. The winner gets to name the Gulf of Mexico. That's what's out at stake here. Alexi Lalas rode in on a horse with the flag. You know what he looked like? He looked like JBL in WWE when he rode in on a horse. That's what he looks like. And I mean that derogatory. You know exactly what I meant when JBL wrote in. You know what JBL was doing when he was
Yeah, he was on a border doing some bullshit that will send hopefully Vince McMahon to jail and then eventually hell. So yeah,
but there's two players I want to bring up with this tournament that has really, really surprised me, and I want the best for their careers. The first is Gilberto Mora. Um, I'm gonna blow coach's mind right now. Do you know what year he was born?
2001.
2008, and he starts for Mexico in midfield. He had an assist for the goal for Raul Jimenez. And I'm watching this boy in center mid, and I'm just like, yo, you know what? Mexico has one. This boy's special. He's about to be 17 later on this year. 5'6", tiny Mexican kid, but he is a player and a half. At 16, 17, to have that composure in the ball, Gilberto Mora is going places. And the second player on the U.S. men's national team, I haven't seen a U.S. player move me like this probably since Clint Dempsey's generation. Diego Luna is special. I like Diego Luna's game a lot. And he did something. He worked at a coffee shop while he's playing. He was playing professionally. He worked at a coffee shop so he can get his social skills up. So he knows how to talk to people. So he worked at a coffee shop so he learned how to be a much better social person. He goes to therapy all the time. I'm like, this kid has it up here. And you can see the way he plays. Somebody said that to me, one of my homies was texting him, and it was actually Tommy. And Tommy says he plays like a compact Mexican Clint Dempsey. And I was like, that is the best description of him I can give him. That's the highest praise I give him. That he plays like a small Clint Dempsey, and the boy is special. So those two, Gilberto Mora and Diego Luna, obviously two Mexicans, are the best players in the Gold Cup for me. One, just the fact that a 16-year-old kid can play in midfield in the international tournament and be calm in the midfield and get an assist to Raul Jimenez. And then you have Diego Luna, who has a composure, ball striking, all the things you want. And I really, really hope for his sake, he's 21 now, turning 22. I hope for his sake that he can go to that next level, not just stay in the MLS. He plays for Utah right now, but Real Salt Lake. And I really, really want this kid to go to that next level. And I want him to go to the Premier League right now. I want him to go to La Liga. I want him to go to a league that's very technical for him so he can develop and play week in and week out. I want him to go to Sociedad, somewhere he can play consistently and get minutes every single week, not just be a bit part player like happened to Gio Reyna. I need this kid to play week because there's something about Diego Luna that I'm very much impressed with him, and that's my highest compliment I can play as a player plays a play for U.S. men's national team player. That I'm excited to actually watch a U.S. men's national team game just because of one player. So Diego Luna, thumbs up to you. So that's my Gold Cup take. I don't know who's going to win in the final between Mexico and USA. I think Mexico might just edge it, but again, they're playing in Houston.
I think for the current political climate, I think Mexico probably need to win this. It would be wonderful
It'll be
for this.
hilarious. It'll be amazing. And you know what else would be nice if a U.S. own goal happened from a white cow.
Yeah, that would be. Do you know what? To be honest, boy, as long as Mexico win, I'm good. But
Yeah.
if you're gonna score an own goal, make sure that you are white because you won't run the risk of being deported if you do. So,
Yeah. And guess where they're playing the final?
Mexico City.
Well, it's Houston, same thing.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So, they're playing in Houston. So it might as well be a home game for Mexico because, boy. But yeah, that's our football updates for you. We do have some transfer rumors. The first one I'm going to give you, Coach. This is for you.
Yep.
Apparently, Jadon Sancho's going to Juventus.
Yeah, Italy will probably suit him, which will be cool. Um, is what it is. Don't like Juventus, but whatever. They can obviously pay his wages. So yeah. They already got Jonathan David, which means I can't prop him anymore on this pod. So any Jonathan David enjoyers that listen to this pod, yeah, you're just not gonna get that prop from me anymore. I'm sorry, guys.
So guys, the noise that you hear in the background, that's me and Dean rejoicing, by the way.
Okay.
So, yeah. We won.
Um,
any other any other rumors you want to talk about?
can we fuck? I mean, like, bro, there is loads. Pause. Um, all right. So I think the one that actually got me was Calvert Lewin to United recently. Yeah, I don't know what the hell or where the hell that came from, but I think that was pretty funny. That would be good. That would be funny to see. To be fair, the five players that United want to get rid of. I mean, Rashford's being flirted, or should I say, being linked to Barcelona for like the 50th time. They've missed out on Nico Williams now, so I think that's
And Luis Diaz.
and Luis Diaz. I genuinely think that's viable. I genuinely think that's viable. They got to pull like 16 more imaginary levers just to pay for half of these wages, but we'll see how that goes. Then there's obviously the Noni Madueke to Arsenal, which we'll cover it more in depth. But I just want to say quickly, Arsenal fans, we've begged for depth, and for some relief for Saka for how many years, and then you finally get some. I get it, the price point is not what you want, but we finally, look like we're getting some, and it's like, no, not that one. It's like beef for fucking real, man. Seriously, like I don't want him at that price. I've gone on record, to say well over a year ago, and take it from me. If you want to take it from anyone else, I've seen him up close, both for PSV and for Chelsea. Like I've watched him for PSV, like live, and I've watched his development. He's a good player. there's no two ways about it. He's a good player. I just don't think spending 50 million on him in a window where we're potentially getting Gyökeres of 55 million. I just don't. That's the part that annoys me more than anything else. But yeah, depth is depth. Chelsea are linked with God knows how many more players. Like, I could say a name and it'd probably be true at this point. They're apparently interested in Ethan Wanieri and Max Dowman, which is just, I don't even know what the fuck they want to do at this point. Um,
You know what's the crazy thing about all that? They
God,
still got Giovanni. They got Quenda coming in next year.
there we go. It's just like, what the hell, man. They got two. There's two of them coming in next year. I've got another one. There's two of them, but Quenda's one of them. Um, I was gonna say something else as well. Um, Newcastle have flipping had bid rejected for everyone they wanted to buy this summer, which is flipping hilarious. Um,
Anthony Elanga's rumored to be going there.
yeah, they bidded like 55 million for him, which I think is, yeah. They need to upgrade Jacob Murphy anyway, so it is what it is. Um, I think Real Madrid with Rodrigo, I think they're probably going to be looking to they're going to look to offload him, but I do think they'll probably need to bring someone else in. I don't think they can offload him and think, oh yeah, Endrick can now take his minutes and that'll be enough. I think they'd probably want someone else. Um, so there's
Quickly,
that. Gone.
I know what I didn't mention is tactically, Real Madrid have been doing some very interesting things in the Gold Cup.
Yeah,
Transfer.
it's Xabi Alonso. He's right now using this as preseason as well. He's looking for um all the solutions to essentially get the best out of his best players or best player, or should I say, which is Mbappe. Um,
And then I also want to add to your point about him experimenting. I really want football fans to stop being weird about tactics and formations because
mm,
watch Real Madrid play in. Yeah, it looks like a 4-2-3-1. They're playing a three at the back because what happens is Tchouaméni goes in the middle of Rudiger and Hausen
and
turns into a back three. So
which is if you watch Xabi Alonso team should I say, by Leverkusen, that's what they played. They played three at the back. They played a 3-4-3, a 3-5-2. So yeah, um, yeah.
and Arda Güler's playing the six.
Arda Güler is doing whatever the hell he wants because
Yeah,
he can. I don't know. Obviously, we mentioned Jonathan David. Crystal Palace signed, I think, a right back from Holland for like 2 million.
not
Um,
forgetting Sosa as well.
yeah, Mark Gahey may be going to Liverpool because Ibrahim Konate is probably not signing a new deal at Liverpool. Um, yeah, I think that's interesting. Gahey's a great player, by the way. Also, I've
Yep.
got some, and Harvey Elliott, shall I say, has it could be leaving out. There's some stuff on our TikTok, right, that I posted well over 3 years ago on Harvey Elliott, on Eze, on Mark Gahey as well, which I'll probably dig up, pause, and move to the front of like our page on TikTok and also probably repost on Twitter just so you guys can get a flavor of these players. Now I've rewatched these videos and everything I've said then absolutely applies now. It genuinely does. It's just that these players have now matured and they've, some of the stuff I was talking about potential, they've actually started to realize it as well, which I think is pretty cool. So I'll dig it up and rehash for you guys to have a look at some of these players. But yeah, I'll probably leave it there for the transfer windows. There's way too many guys. There's literally way too many. We'll probably have to do a whole different pod strictly on just transfers across Europe.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I mean, United's now linked with Douglas Luiz as well, which I
There
don't
we go.
care for.
So
Sorry, I'm not looking at the screens. I'm just like looking at all these other rumors and stuff, and it's just like things gonna come in. I know a lot of fans right now are like upset that not getting room, whatever. And I'm trying to tell you guys this right now. It's transfer windows in September,
mm,
right? September 1st, something like that.
mm.
I need you guys to not only touch grass, I need you guys to go find new hobbies, find something to do because this is gonna stress you out. And
Do some shit with your families. I'm sure they haven't seen you in months, bro. Like,
get out the basement and
yeah,
stop watching football rumors. Coach, I think we're gonna end it here because we can keep going and keep going.
yeah,
Anything you want to add before we head out of here?
yeah. Like, share, subscribe, man. The regularity of the pods will now be seeping back in slowly as we approach, like, the preseason training and preseason games and stuff. We do apologize, for the lack of regularity, but we did make it clear that we just needed a little bit of a breather. But we haven't forgotten about you guys. I can't keep stressing this enough. Lots of good shit coming in the new season, man. And yeah, just stick with us, man. Like it's gonna be a fun season from a storytelling perspective from us. So yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I have nothing else to add.
Mhm,
We're out. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Share it with at least one person. We
mhm.
appreciate you guys so much. Take it easy, everyone. Peace.
Peace.
Hey, folks, this is Dean from the Shirtless Plantain Show. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and follow us on all our socials. You can see them right beneath our recordings in every video. Thanks again, and see you on the next one.